Got one here from Insulin Audits. Why women say passport bros patriarchy.
Okay, we seriously need to talk about the passport bros movement. If you haven't come across this term yet, it refers to a breed of men, mostly from the US and the UK, who roam countries in South America, Southeast Asia.
Roam countries? What are we, fucking wild animals? Blonde woman. Look at her face, dude. Just look perfect. No wonder you're making a video, sis, about passport bros.
And Eastern Europe in search of traditional women. Why do they do that? Well, because they claim that Western women have been corrupted by have impossibly high standards and aren't feminine enough. Which translates from bro speak to I'm upset that women here no longer need me to survive and I have to try to be a decent human being in order to date or be in a relationship. Now, as someone who was born and raised in one of the countries these passport bros consider to be a fertile land full of submissive and traditional women, I certainly have lots to say on this.
Look at her. Just look at her, bro. Is there any surprise why this one tried to buck the trend in her conservative country and is now reaping the rewards of the clown show she chose to live in and is making TikTok videos alone? She could have been married. Most of her girlfriends are probably married. Most of them have kids. Most of them are at home happy, living their lives, not making stupid TikToks about men you will never come across, about an issue that doesn't revolve around you. A man having preferences triggered her so much she had to make a video about it. What man in her life that she was angling for, pumped and dumped, then went and left overseas, found himself probably a really nice conservative traditional woman, and absolutely left her in shambles, seething at the fact that this man would dare prefer a woman stay at home? I've been sold a lie. I've been sold a fake dream that doesn't exist. I was told that if I'm strong and independent, I get to have everything. My cake, cherry on top, all I've ever wanted. Why is my life falling apart? Why am I starting to collect cats? Why am I making TikTok videos when I should already be a mother? Hey everyone, if you have a minute, please head over to legionofmen.store and grab yourself some cool merch as well. We have a bunch of limited edition designs, brand new stuff on the way, and all the proceeds go to supporting the channel. We don't want to be sponsored by corporations where we have to submit videos for review, have our speech impeded, or push any products that we don't use. So thank you so much to everybody that goes into the shop. Again, it's legionofmen.store. I'll put it up here for you guys. First time customers get a 10% off, and we have a bunch of great designs by artists from the community that watch the channel and support. They get proceeds as well, a percentage of everything that gets sold. So community funded through and through. And it's no synthetic fibers on any on our products. We're using cotton only, of course. I got your back from all those chemicals from synthetic fibers. Again, appreciate you guys. Let's continue.
Topic. And first of all, these men are because for all their talk about the importance of traditional values, they certainly don't have any themselves.
Amen.
Case in point, this is the most popular passport bro on this platform who goes by the nickname of Digital Bromad. And his entire online persona is just showing off women who he pays for and presumably sleeps with while partying and enjoying a lavish lifestyle. And if you look at all the forums and pages and channels dedicated to the passport bro community, and yes, there is already plenty of them, you will find just more of the same.
Sister, I can tell you right now, your bro speak translator is about as accurate as the Netflix Cleopatra documentary. Try this translation. Men in Western countries are tired of putting in 20 times more work than their grandfathers did to appease women who aren't 1/20th as worthy as their grandmothers.
Inflation,
Let me get this straight. This queen judges all of the passport bros based on TikTok and some forums from a handful of men. You know, there is a blonde joke in there, but I'm not going to stoop to
Triggered.
that. Let me see. She claims they delve in pietism because they date attractive women who they financially sustain.
God, Karen, you are so stupid.
Queen, that makes about as much sense as playing ping pong with a bowling ball. How about we put some logic into this? Considering she isn't a man and has never been through the dating hardships men have faced, her opinion is about as valid as mine would be on dating as a giraffe.
These men aren't interested in finding a traditional woman. They just fetishize hyper and stereotype women from developing countries and essentially leverage global economic inequality for their own personal gain. Which brings me to my next point. The term passport bro might be new, but this is hardly a new way of thinking. What you see right here is a part of an article published in GQ in the 1990s describing the Western man's fantasy of the Asian women. You can pause to read the whole thing, but
let's pause and read it. When you get home from another hard day on the planet, she comes into existence, removes your clothes, bathes you, and walks naked on your back to relax you. She's fun, you see, and so uncomplicated. She doesn't go to assertiveness training classes, insist on being treated like a person, fret about career moves, wield her orgasm as a non-negotiable demand. She's there when you need shore leave from the angry femme seas.
It essentially implies that Asian women are fun and uncomplicated, and they don't insist on being treated like a person, which makes them perfect for a Western man tired with those angry. Well, clearly not much has changed in the last 3 decades, because passport bros are once again reinforcing all these disgusting and reductive stereotypes that imply Asian women, but also South American women and Slavic women aren't people. No, in their eyes, we're just submissive and dutiful and always available blow-up dolls. And obviously, this is all a pile of bullshit, but unfortunately,
Projecting
it also
hard.
leads to overprevalence of certain ethnicities in corn, the mail-order bride industry, and large-scale violence and exploitation. And yes, the existence of passport bros and the stereotypes they perpetuate contribute to all of that.
Isn't it funny that almost always the women that are upset at the passport bro movement are the ones bashing Asian women and women from lesser developed countries as if they were beneath them? Or somehow, magically, when a passport bro shows up, those women have no will of their own. Colleen, who exactly are the ones hurting women? Well, it's obviously the passport bros who show up, date those women with full consent, and financially support them. It couldn't possibly be the Western women who constantly berate women from lesser developed nations, now is it?
Whatever.
This Queen may be Slavic, but I'm getting the distinct feeling Western womanism has installed itself in her brain like it were the I love you computer virus.
You are correct. It does not compute.
Moving on.
Oh no, you mean I'm not worthy of your pinky shrimp and 60 seconds of disappointment? Oh no, what will I ever do?
You guys have to stop threatening us with a good time. Like, use your passport, fly away, and never come back. No one will miss you. It's not a flex to tell people, yeah, man, I flew to this impoverished country and went to the poorest village that I could find and found myself a nice young one who can barely speak English. She has the education of a first grader and she...
How racist is that? Tell me you're a privileged snob who's never been traveled and has no culture. You see what I mean? They default to this projection of seeing 4 women as some sort of creature beneath them, unevolved, primitive house slave. That's not a woman. That's just a female who's trapped in her destitute shithole of a country, a slave, a baby-making machine, and a vacuum rolled into one. Like, imagine. Is that not what you would call
misogyny?
Interesting, isn't it? Friendly fire.
You're gonna make a great wife. But let me fill you in on something though, okay? Those women are going to marry you for a green card and then leave you. They gonna bounce the second they can, dude.
First off, fam, I want to apologize for the OD of cringe this Queen delivered in her attempt at comedy.
Come on, Lloyd.
It's like nails on the chalkboard. Now, to address her humorous remarks, and trust me, I am using that word extremely lightly. The first 10 seconds, she used the default insult of a man's size. Seriously, ladies, do you actually think that works or is even funny? More to the point, it has an easy counter. You can say to a man, "You have a small ding-dong," and he can reply, "It fit your sister just fine."
Got him!
She said, "Fly away and no one will miss you." Queen, explain something to me. If you are not going to miss them and they don't bother you, why even make this video?
Emotional damage!
Ladies, again, we find a Western woman belittling women from lesser developed nations. It really seems that men respect less fortunate women more than Western women. Another thing is, the bulk of these passport bros are not bringing these women back to the West. They just move out of the West altogether. Also, Queen, what is the difference between being with a foreign woman and being with a Western woman? With a foreign woman, you don't have to worry about being dragged through the Western family courts.
Not only that, but being in Eastern Europe, I could tell you right now, most of the women here are far more educated than their counterparts in the West. And they speak multiple language. Regularly 2 to 3 languages are spoken fluently. It's mind-blowing. They're actually adults. Their families expected them to pull their weight and help around the house, whether it was cooking and cleaning or maybe even getting a job to help pay for bills. They get treated like adults. They get set up for the real world. The ones that are college educated most likely did exchange programs with other countries in Europe to gain experience and valuable insight. They mop the floor with their Western counterparts. You know, the ones that don't even know how to boil water, complain when their avocado toast wasn't toasty enough, refuse to cook and clean, even for themselves. They rather Uber Eats or go to a restaurant. Think their presence is enough to keep a man in a relationship. I am the table. Thinks a man finds your job title, your salary, or the plaque you got from whatever shithole college you went to and graduated with a ton of debt and a useless piece of paper, thinking men find that attractive. Like that is adding value to you. Completely lost in the sauce, man.
Moving on.
There's actually no such thing as traditional values.
Here we go.
What we call...
Yeah, look, old Karen over here. There's a look, man. We got an old single Karen. Notice that every one of them have we had one woman with a ring on that complained about passport bros? One. Can somebody please link me a video where there's a married woman that's legitimately seething and complaining about passport bros on the level these are? It's always single. They don't even have boyfriends. They're getting pumped and dumped in situationships. Find me a single woman that is married, please. Always single. Always collecting cats or dogs. Always crying in their pillows at night. Always ashamed of their lifestyle. Always regretting the decisions they made. Can't walk it back. Consequences are consequences. The wall has come and gone. Now you got to deal with your life. You don't got to shame everybody else. You don't. This is the thing. They're trying to force men into accepting them through shame. It'll never work. Man just ups and leaves, walks away later. And that's the best move, walking away. And then they get mad because they have no more moves to play on the chessboard. That's it. You got checkmated. You flip the board as a man and go, see ya, sis, game over. I'm out. Here's this little blue book. Go fuck yourself.
You're gonna take advantage of women. You can't do your fucking dusty anyway. I never wanted you.
You know, it's like the nice guy incel-y dude that gets turned down by a woman. He's like pretending to be nice. Women know this type of guy. They can sense it. The moment this guy gets turned down, I never wanted you anyway, you fucking bunch of pistol. You're ugly as shit anyway. This is the reverse of that. This is low-value woman saying, we never wanted you passport dusties. I know, I go overseas and F off. Oh, the irony.
All traditional values are patriarchal values, and the patriarchy has only been around for about 4,000 years.
Oh, really?
That's a blip in human history. Obviously, it seems hella long to the women in it, but it's very short compared to how long we've been around. So those aren't traditional in any sense of the word. Those are just values that the patriarchy chose and defined and voiced it upon everyone else. So what we're really talking about here is men choosing to go to other cultures where patriarchal values are even stronger than they are in America, which is saying a lot, where women have less agency, less choice, less ability to make something of their own lives as independent women. So yeah.
You think these women are slaves? Has she not watched the videos with just the Philippines? Those women are working, also taking care of a household, also taking care of their families, also have kids, also take care of their husbands, and their husbands are providing and more. And they're happier. They're doing more and they're happier. Where's the limitation here? What rights are there that are missing? Unless you're talking about some Middle Eastern countries where it's very conservative, very religious, and there are major differences. Most of the Asian world, all of Eastern Europe, all of South America, a woman has the same rights as a man. That's the quote modern world we're living in today. It's like they all get their education and their script from the very same person. It's like one person, one institution is disseminating all of this into their brains. I wonder what that is. What is that thing called? What is that? That they're all thinking and saying the same exact shit without doing any due diligence to challenge the mainstream narrative. What's that called again?
American white man at the top of the food chain who offers money in exchange for a total subservience sounds like a really good deal to some of them. But let's not forget that this is exploitative.
Wow.
And it's a transaction.
She's going to sink, Captain. She can't sink. She's unsinkable.
Fam, exploitative and it's a transaction? Someone please explain how both of these things don't apply in Western countries with the modern day dating dynamics. Sorry to burst her bubble, but Western men are very clear they are not loved unconditionally. Men must have a level of value and offer women more than what women offer in order to even entertain the idea of a relationship. What is this queen smoking? Because it could possibly drop a horse. Let me put it this way. An average single queen can offer up her taco and she would get an average man answering the call super quick. By contrast, most average single men know in order for a woman to be interested in warming his bed, he has a laundry list of things he must provide first. Unless he pays a professional for the act, but that's another story. Oh, and the terrible patriarchy.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
That builds and maintains the systems that allows her to post these videos. It's obviously so horrible.
The passport bros on this app love to tell me that their overseas wives are their best friends, despite the fact that most of them don't participate in any of their wives' cultures, don't speak their wives' languages, and they conveniently ignore the alternate universe that might have existed for these women. What would they have chosen if they had more financial agency? What would they have chosen if they had the ability to pursue an independent life for themselves? Are they with you because they're your best friend and they love you so?
It blows her mind. She can't fathom the fact that some women would like to stay at home and have kids. They just want a well-off man to take care of them. They want to be at home with children. They don't have any drive for career, for money, for any of that shit. That's what a man does. A man works. A man makes money. I'm a woman. I want to stay at home. I want to look after the house. I want to look after my kids. I want a lot of kids. I need a man to provide for me. That's it. For most of the world, there are these gender differences. Only here in the West, look, the masculine face here. This one got sold the dream and is deep in it, boys. Beyond knee deep. She's drowning. It's up to her neck. And these are the final breaths of trying to convince herself and everybody around her, crabs in a bucket mentality, that she made the right decision.
So much, or because that was simply the best option that was available to them. If they had the opportunities that American women had, guess what? You'd probably find them just as toxic as you find the rest of us. Because if there's one traditional value that we all share, it's the desire to be free, to live our lives according to what we want.
Except if your idea is different from mine, then you've internalized misogyny. This is brilliant.
Remove the systems of oppression in the world.
Look at him.
And see what happens to women.
Talking points,
see what
baby.
kind of lives they make for themselves. And guess how many of them would be rushing to get on a plane, to come to another country, and take care of their American husbands. And be careful once they get here. They might actually get the chance that they deserve. Don't let those passports expire, guys.
The double standard is strong with this one. Let me get this straight here, Colleen. You are saying these women only choose the passport bros because they are financially of higher value? Okay, how exactly is that any different from Western women?
Same, but different. But still same.
Oh, this queen is equating marriage with not being free. Silly gorilla. What makes you think that marriage has anything to do with hard work, sacrifice, and dedication?
I was way off.
Nah, this queen, who is obviously super happy, knows all about the bondages of marriage. And not the 50 Shades type.
And I need to be banged now!
As to her question of what would those women do if they had the same freedoms as Western women like her have? Well, that's easy. They would be making videos complaining about their men leaving them behind for more traditional women in other countries, like this queen did.
Fatality.
Flawless victory.
See what the comments say. Says, first off, the PPB movement is about going abroad to live in those traditional societies, not to bring women back here to wallow in the toxicity. So we aren't bargaining with the green card. Yes, we are more prosperous than most local choices, but we want to live a more trad life. The best thing about this whole passport bro thing is that it cannot be countered. Every single woman railing against it on social media merely reinforces and demonstrates why it's happening to begin with. It makes one want to pay the extra $100 for express processing on their passport app /renewal. These women are financial predators who are angry that their intended prey is getting away. These women are going to marry you for a green card and then leave you. The guy writes, wow, this is dramatically different than a lady from the US marrying me and then taking half my stuff.